Hello guys, I am Umair Nazim and welcome to the object-oriented series of Let's Code. In the previous video, we did the introduction about what is an object-oriented. But in today's tutorial, that is a lecture 2. So in today's tutorial, we will deal what is class and what is object. So I just gave you a little bit introduction about these things in the previous video, but not in a very detail. So today we will take the same class, that is a student class, and we will go in a little bit more detail. Okay, that one is our second video and the part is first part. In the second part of the video, I will do the same thing on the compiler so that you can understand how to create the object and classes in the compiler. So as you can see, that one is a package. So our package is lecture number 2, that is the package. Okay. So same here, we have the same package lecture 2. So it means that we can create the different classes. So in object 20, you can say that I have here two classes. One class is here, my class. Okay. And the other class is here, student class. Okay. But that both the classes are in the same package. The package is lecture 2, here also lecture 2. Okay. So the first thing is, when you are dealing with the object oriented, the first thing is that you have to create different classes. Up to how many times you want to create the classes, that is your choice. But the package must be same for the same project. Okay. One class is here, this public class without main method. Okay. Without main method, and one class is here, that is main class, but in that main class I have this void main function. So that is the function that we were seeing in our previous videos when we were dealing about the simple structure, like when we were dealing about the functions, about the methods, about the different data types. So we were dealing about this part at that time. Okay. So what I said to you at that time, if you remember, I said to you that whatever we want to do, for example, we want to create a method, we created that method without, like you can say, outside this main method here somewhere else, but within the same class we created a method and we called that method in the main class because our execution will start from the main class. So same is the, you can say, concept here, but a little bit change. Okay, how it is changed? So in the object-oriented class, for example, let's suppose that I can take an example of a student. In this class, I have created a student class. Okay, in that student class, you can say, in that class could have some members. For example, it could have the members, like you can say member variables. I'm talking about, there are member variables, there are the member functions. Okay, methods I mean. So for that one, you can say that for the member function, for the member variables, what we have, the integers, like the same data types, integers, strings, double, character, these things are called the variables. Okay, but when it will come to the separate class, we will call them as a member because they are the member of this student. So this student could have some properties, you can say, like the student can have the age. The student can have the name, surname, his university name, and these kind of things. Okay. So for example, let's suppose that this time the student has some members. Okay. For example, let's suppose that first we will take the name of the student. So that one is a string. String. Okay. The data type is string, and we can give the name. For example, the name. Okay. Of. So now, this name is a variable, this name, and that one is a data type. Then the student can have also the surname, okay, that one is the student surname. Then the student can have also the age. The age is integer, okay. I will write here integer age. Now here these things are called as the member variables. These things. So now how can I call that member variables here? If I want, I can assign the values to here and I can call that values to here. But we will not assign the values here, okay? That is actually according to your logic. You can assign, it doesn't matter. But for example, you don't assign here. I want to assign the values in the main. So how can I call that student class? Because it is a different class. Now here the object oriented will come. Okay, now how can I call in the main method this class? First I will write the name of that class. That is a student. So I will write here student, okay. That one is the name of the class student. After that, I will give any name to that class. That is your choice. Whatever name you want to give, that is your choice. Okay. So here I will give a name. For example, my name is Umair. I will give a name to here Umair. Okay. Now it means that we have one student. In that student class, we have a student whose name is Umair, for example. Okay, I give this class as a name Umair. Then I will write here new, okay. And after that, I will write the same name again. Okay. Now here, please have a look on this thing because it's important. Now here I have written this statement. Okay. Now this statement is here. This thing is called as an object. Okay. This thing is called as an object. Object, or some people call it instance. Okay, so that is also, you can call it object or you can call it instance. That is your choice. So it means that here I have created the object of this class, student, and here that is the name of my class. So now after this stage, if I want to call these members here, I will not use this student. I will use this name Umair, because now this name Umair is referring to this class. Student. Okay. For example, I want to call this name, I want to assign a value. So I will write here Umair. This Umair. When I will put here dot here, when I will put a dot here, in your compiler it will show you a drop down. Okay. In that drop down, you will see all the member variables, or if you have the functions, you will see all these things in that drop down, and you can call them. So for example, I am going to write here Umair.name. So I will write here Umair, I will write here name, and after that I can assign a value. So here I have written a string. This is a name, and that name is assigned to this name variable that is here. Okay. And after that I have here also the surname. And same I can do here for the surname. I can write Umair dot, okay, and then again I can write here, when I will put the dot, I can see the drop down in the compiler. So for example, I will write here surname, that is the name of the variable, okay, and now I can assign a value to the surname. For example, Tommy Hill, I can write, the surname is Hill, okay. So here, that is the surname. Now one member is left. Now one variable is left. That is, again I will write here Umair dot. And now I can write here age. Now the age is, for example, 20, let's suppose. Okay. Now, successfully I have given all these names, all these values to these variables. Okay. Now, if I want to print that data, how can I print? So for that data, I can within this main method, okay, I can write here the same statement system.out.println. Okay, I'll write here system dot out dot println. Okay, so that one is the statement to print something in Java. So here that is system.out.println, and I want to print, for example, the name. Okay, now as you can see here we have assigned the values, and that values are not here. So again it means I have to call that values from here, and again I will use this name Umair. I will write here Umair, then dot. Again I will use dot. Umair dot. When I will use the dot, I can select again the name variable. I will write here name. Okay, so for example, just for now that's enough. For example, so I can write here system.out.println Umair.name. So it will print that name, that is Tommy, because that name will assign already to this variable. So it will print here in the output. You can see the name is Tommy. Okay, so let me write here the output also. For example, the output, so the first output is Tommy. Okay, so that one is our output. Now, for example, if you want to print the more data, for example, the same thing, this surname, again, because I don't have no space enough, so you can again write within this main method, you can again write this statement, system.out.println, then Umair dot. When you will put here again dot, so it will give you a drop down, you can select this surname, and it will print the value here. So that one is the like structure, how can we create a class and how can we create the object and why it is important. So for this video that is enough, I think, but in the second part of the video I will show you this demonstration. I will give you a practical example of this thing in the compiler, and in that video again here I have created just one object. Okay, here one object with the name Umair. We can create several objects like this for this one class, but that name must be different. For example, here I have written Umair. If I want to create an object for the second student, then again I cannot use the Umair. Then again I have to change little bit here. I can create, for example, Umair 1, Umair 2, Umair 3, or I can create another student name here. That is a pure logic. Okay, so in the part 2, here I have just give you a one demonstration with the just one object. In the second part of the video, we will do 2 or 3 objects. We will create objects and then we will deal with them. So take care of yourself. See you in the part 2 of the lecture 2.